Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to the Mary D Show. My name is Mary D Welch, and I'm your host of the Mary D Show. And I'm so glad you're here on this fabulous Monday. What can I say? I know I have been under the weather, ladies, gentlemen. I know you probably can even still hear it. I have a cold, trying to get rid of it. But after almost 2 years, we've been blessed. I've been able to make the show, so I thank God for that. So I'm back today. I'd like to first thank you, our live viewers, and thank you, our replay viewers. Thank you to each and every one of you, all of you that come on, all of you that subscribe to the show. You go to YouTube and you subscribe. I don't know why our YouTube got off, but our subscriptions were really high. Then all of a sudden, I don't know. I have to call YouTube and talk to them as to what happened. But anyway, things happen. You know how that goes. I'd like to first thank our sponsors for today's show. Today, we have the Idea Club. The president is Dumas Martin Jr. Thank you, the Idea Club. Those of you that, if you are looking to have a 501c3, a nonprofit, or you want to have now, that's a 501c3, a nonprofit, or if you're S Corp or C Corp, then you want to talk to the Idea Club. Because Dumas, I know he doesn't like me saying this, but he's an expert in that field. He really is. And our corporations, everything, all done by Dumas. So I would highly recommend you go to the Idea Club to get those things done. Another sponsor for the show, First Book Academy. If you're looking to write your first book, you want to go to First Book Academy where you can learn how to write your first book. The first book is the hardest book to complete. And I would tell anybody, you definitely want to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, that book is a legacy. It's a legacy to your family. I know we don't always look at it like that, but that's really what it is. So you want to take the time and write that first book. You really do. I'd like to also thank the Henderson Real Estate Team.info. If you're buying a home, selling a home, you want to contact the Henderson Real Estate Team. Another sponsor is Welch Travel Tours. Welch Travel Tours, you can go there if you're booking airline tickets, hotel, car rental, any of those things, go to Welch Travel Tours. If you know any groups that are booking, they can book on the site also. And those groups, you get their discount. It's a discount travel site. So you don't pay full price. You don't pay retail, you pay wholesale. You get a discount. So you go to Welch Travel Tours. If you're looking for travel insurance, you go to First Friday's Travel for travel insurance. I also want to thank it's our last sponsor, Sutton Insurance. If you're looking for life, home, car insurance, you go to Sutton Insurance and they can help you with that. Now, I always try to go over with everyone because, this is something near and dear to my heart, ladies, gentlemen, and that is saving your home from probate. I know you guys probably say, I'm tired of that lady talking about saving your home from probate. Well, I talk about it because, ladies, gentlemen, this is real. And I got to put Sheila. Hi, Sheila. How are you, sweetheart? It's always good to see you. Always. Thank you for stopping by, Sheila. I tell you, there are certain people I look for. Sheila's one, Richard's one, Elaine is one. I can tell you guys, if you're not here, I feel like there's not a show. Hi, Richard. How you doing? Hi, Wilma. But I do want to go over this with you, ladies and gentlemen, because what can I tell you? This is so near, just in the last 3 days. Think about this. The last 3 days, I have spoken to 5 families. In the last 3 days, it was about this. Oh, Sheila, I got to put this up there. I love you too. Oh, thank you, Sheila. I love you too. I tell you, I do. Thank you. You touching my heart. You touching my heart. This is because let me just give you the backstory of this, and then I'll put it up, and then I'll give you the backstory. It's Save Your Home from Probate. Now, there's one book you can get. Let me explain what this is. Let me go back and tell you. First of all, let me go back and tell you what probate is. For those of you I had never experienced probate. Let me explain this. I never experienced it until my mother passed away. I didn't even know what it was. Oh, I got to say hi to David too. Hi, David. How are you? So I say this. I want to talk about it because this is real, people. This is so real. I cannot begin to tell you. And I really am so on fire about this because I hear about these incidents and I don't want you to be one of them. That's why I'm just really passionate about this. It's this book. It's on Amazon. Saving Your Home for Probate. Now, there's two versions right now. And let me tell you why. This one I just showed you has 34 states in it. It has the examples of the paperwork, explains it, explains how to file. All of that's in that one book. That's for the 34. It has all 34 states. Now, for a lot of us, we live in California. I know, that's just, even though this is worldwide, but a large percentage, because that's where I live, a lot of people live in California. So what happened is right now, there's a California edition. Eventually, there will be all 34 states will have their own edition. So you don't have to buy the one that has all 34 states. You can buy one just for your state. Or let's say it's California and Arizona or California, Nevada. There'll be a separate book for each one. That's what we're working on right now. Is getting where you can buy the separate book for each one. So you don't have to buy the one that encompasses everybody. Now, the backstory of this. I'll just tell, I guess you say tell the truth. My mother passed away. She had a will. The will, which I did not know, and some of you probably do know, but I was ignorant to everything with probate. So I'm going to speak for me. It's the only person I can speak for is me. I didn't even know what probate was. I heard the term, I knew the word, but I didn't know what it was. So our family went through it. In the process of going through it, I stumbled upon this. I literally stumbled upon. It's one sheet of paper, ladies and gentlemen. It's so hard to believe, but it's true. One sheet of paper, you can fill it out. You have to have it notarized and witnessed by two people. My advice is that the two people do not be beneficiaries for the property. These are two neutral people. This is my advice. You don't have to use it. It's my opinion. That's not my advice. So I'm wrong. Scratch the advice part. This is my opinion because anybody can have an opinion. So, and let me also preface and say this. I am not an attorney. I'm really not. I know you guys, I may sound like I am, but I'm not. And why I want to preface these things is because people do sue people. Let's just be honest. That's the reason. So let me go back. I'm not an attorney. That's number one. Number two, I've experienced this. So that's why I want to share this with you. So lo and behold, my mother had a will. Thank God she had a will. She did. But I did not know a will must be probated. I did not know that with the will, you still have to go to court. I did not know all these things. So because of that, I stumbled upon this. And because of my stumbling, I guess you could say, when I found out you could have, or she could have had, this actually came into effect a month before she passed away, which none of us were privy to. We didn't know that. So we didn't know. So here we are, wanting to do the right thing, but at the same time, we had to go to court and all those kind of things. What I didn't like about it, it does put one family member against the other. How can it not? And it's just not pretty. It's just not pretty. That's the one thing I can say. And you don't want that. You don't want, and I have had people actually tell me this. They don't care. They let them fight. I've heard people say, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine why somebody would say that, but I've heard them say it. So I would tell you why this is important. Okay, there's a California edition. Let me say this. If you are in California, let me explain what this paperwork does. This is the book. This is the cover. In California, and the only difference it says in California. And they're both on Amazon. They're both right there on Amazon. Why it's so important you fill out one sheet of paper. Think about this, ladies and gentlemen. One, not two, not 10, one. You get it notarized. You have it witnessed by two neutral people, and you file it with the county, wherever the deed is located. Let me see. I may be going too fast for some people, maybe not. But I'm just saying this because I'm hoping I can save someone from the headache and the heartache. Because there's a heartache involved. Number one, you're grieving the loved one. So you're dealing with that. Grief alone. Come on now. I unfortunately, we've lost my mother, my father. I have two brothers, not to mention other family members. This has been, this is not through COVID or anything like that. This is before COVID. Think about this. This is before COVID ever came into our world. But the point is, this will help a lot of people. Let me just tell you who the best ones to benefit from this, in my opinion. If you own a home, you own a duplex, you own property in California. I say California, in any of those 34 states. Let me just say that. It's 34 states. I don't want to give you the list of all the 34 states because you can go and if you get the book, you can see what they are. So, but I can tell you, California is one. I can give you a partial list. California is one. You know what? I could actually read the list to you. And I know you guys said, well, what happened? Where's Delores? I know you said, where is Delores? We are having technical difficulties. Let me tell you that. So don't think I forgot about our guest because I have not. It's just that there's been some technical issues. And so in the meantime, I'm just watching to see if she pops in, then you'll definitely add her to the stream. I just want you to know that. And I didn't want to introduce her and we not be able to bring her in. So I'm just watching to see when her face pops in and bring her on. So I am going to get the book, and I am going to read to you the 34 states that this applies to. If you know someone in those states, let me tell you what I feel is the best way to use this. And this is my opinion. If you know someone, they own a property and they are either one, they can have the property in their name and it's not in anyone else's name. Or it's another thing. They own a property and they want to leave it to someone. They want to leave it to a grandchild. It doesn't matter who they want to leave it to, but they don't want it to go to court. This is what's so important about this. It does not have to go before a judge to be probated. That's the biggest plus. The reason that's huge, you save yourself court fees. You save yourself any legal fees you may be that may come along. All of that. One of the ladies that you saved yourself so much. Let me say that. So let me back up. I'm going to read to you. Just so happens, of course, I have the book. I wrote the book, so the book is right here. So it's available in most states, which means it's over 50% of our states. I'm going to read the list of states so you know just how intense. This took me 3 years to write this book, but I'm so proud of it. I am so, so proud of this because I know people will benefit. The calls I've been getting lately, predominantly seniors, they don't have a will. They just, for whatever the reason, and it's not for me to judge. Let me say that. And I see Elaine. Hi, Elaine. Oh, thank you. You know what it is, Elaine? And I'm going to have Elaine on the show. She knows I'm going to have her on here. This information, now I'm getting calls because we all are coming, I think we're coming to the reality. No one is going to live forever, ladies and gentlemen. Nope, I know we think we are, but we're not. So let me read the names of the 34 states so you could, if this applies, if you know someone in any of these 34 states, they own property and they don't have a trust. This is important because if you have a trust, a living trust, then you don't need this. Let me tell you that now. But there's a caveat to that because sometimes even when you have a trust, the person they're leaving the property to, they pass away before the owner does. I don't know. Let me say that again. So you may own property and you want to leave it to someone and that person passes away, but you never changed anything. I hope I'm not confusing you guys, because sometimes I get so excited, I go fast on this. You own property, and I'll use me for example. Let's say I own a home, and I want to leave it to my granddaughter, and the home is in my name only. I do not want to put her on title to that property. You know why? Because if you put someone on title, all debt that they have can come to you and can be attached to that piece of property. So I don't want to put her on title, but I want her to have it if I pass on. That's the key. I want her to have it. I don't want her to have to go to court to get it. That's what this does. Avoids that. That one, it may seem like it's a small thing, it's a big thing. It's a big thing. Because when you have to go to court, people can contest it. They can say, oh, that person wasn't in their right mind when they wrote the will. Give me a break. Anyway, the point being, when you file this, it's because you're the one filing it. You're the owner of that property. You're the one filing that paper. Nobody can file it for you. You have to file that paperwork at the county of records, wherever the deed is located. Because some of it's a chancery clerk's office. It's so many different names they give it where the deed is located. Wherever that deed is, that's where you file this paperwork. Now, I'm gonna read over these 34 states, just so you know. They are Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, District of Columbia, Florida, Hawaii, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Maine, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, New Mexico, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, Oregon, South Dakota, Texas, Utah, Virginia, Vermont, Washington, West Virginia, Wisconsin, and Wyoming. If you live in one of those states or you know someone who does, they qualify for. And they own a property. They can take this, get the book. It's right there on Amazon. Get the book. I have examples of the paperwork are in the book. So I even put examples of the notary form, examples of the paper, everything, so that you don't have to even figure it out. You don't have to say, oh, thank you, Elaine. Elaine said, give me the name of the book again. You want the California edition, Elaine. It's called Save Your Home from Probate in California. It's right there on Amazon. That's the one. And I tell you, 5 families in the last 3 days. In the last 3 days, people are starting to come to terms. We what can I say? They say we lose for lack of knowledge. I'm trying to make it so you can, there you go. I think that's the better, there we go. Save your home from probate. When I tell you, you want to avoid probate like the plague, but take my word for it. You want to avoid probate like the plague, people. Probate might as well be an illness as far as I'm concerned. And then let me just say this to you too. I don't know how else I'm gonna say it. When you fill out the paperwork, this is remember, these are my opinions. I'm not giving you any legal counsel here. These are my opinions. Don't put 10 people on that form, because all they're gonna do is fight. I'm gonna be honest with you, truthfully. I'm just gonna say this, so just so you understand, this is how close this is to me. I'm so full with this because I know the power of this. When you leave 2 people on there, keep in mind that property is going to be sold, because they're never going to agree. They're never going to agree. Don't ever think. And this is what people tell me. Oh, my kids, they get along just fine. They fine. I don't say nothing, because I already know that's not true. It's like they're delusional. Yes, they get along fine because you're alive. Wait till you're no longer there. You don't know how they really get along until you're no longer there. But I can tell you, oh, okay. Yes. Yes. Oh, I'm going to put Elaine's comment up. And she had a couple of comments. One, she wanted the name of the book, which is Save Your Home from Probate. It's like, we're showing everyone. Ta-da, ta-da. This is, and I'm going to be honest, I used to think this was a shameless plug. This is really not. I'm going to tell you what this is. This is keeping your family intact. Intact. The lady that, she's the one that's gone through the whole thing. We did her paperwork in 16? What is this, 2022? Yeah, about 2016. Now, 2016, think about this. We did her paperwork. Then, no, I'm sorry. No, it was later than that. It must have been like 2019. 2019, we did her paperwork. Her mother was in her, she could contract. Let me just tell you what that means. Her mother, you have to be of a right mind to contract. I don't know if you know that. You cannot, let me just say this. If someone has dementia, they cannot contract. They're not, you're taking advantage of the fact that they are not all here. Her mother could contract. In fact, when I told her about it, her mother said, let's do it. Her mother said it. So her mother, she got the paperwork. She filled it out. She filed it with the county, everything, 9 yards. Now, unfortunately, the mother, she passed earlier this year. I spoke with her about a week ago. And I asked her, I said, okay, now, what was the process since your mother's passed away and everything? And she said, Mary, I'm going to tell you the truth. It was just it was seamless. It was so easy. And I didn't know this. She had spoken to about 3 attorneys. She said she had just, called and got their opinion about it. Every single one of them said this. They said, whoever told you about this, you need to go and thank them. You need to thank them because you don't have a clue what they saved you from. You don't really know what it could have cost your family in money, in emotional stress and issues, none of those things. Because once her mother filled out the paperwork, they told everybody else in the family. They just told them and said, I just want you guys to know this is what I've done. It wasn't a secret. Nobody made it a secret. And it shouldn't be a secret. And I'm going to tell you why. Because then they will be like trying to accuse you of doing something or saying something, whatever. The point is, and people, and I'm going to be honest, even with everything that happens, people still don't accuse people of stuff. Yeah. So you might as well get over that. And no, save your home from probate is saving your family emotional stress, financial issues, usually because they're somewhere in there, a lawyer going to pop in, and next thing you know, next thing you, like I said, next thing you know, you are faced with, you got lawyers involved. So I would really, really stress to you, ladies and gentlemen, take the time, show it one more time. It's on Amazon. Save Your Home from Probate by Mary D. Welch. That would be me. But it was based on something that I personally have went through. And I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy if I had one. I wouldn't wish it on him anyway. Because it's just it's just one of those situations you never think you have to go through. But you know what I've learned about life? Almost anything I thought I would never have to go through, I've been through. So I've learned you don't know what you'll have to go through in life. You don't know. You have no clue. And I'm going to put Elaine's comment back up because I didn't get a chance to really read it. It says, I have some relatives and friends in some of those states in which Louisiana would have been one of them. And you know what? Georgia isn't one either, Elaine. Louisiana is under predominantly like it's a French. It's under a different legal system. That's what I've been told. So I don't really know. And Sheila, great information. Oh, please share it. Please share this. If you know someone they own their own home, and it works perfect for someone that owns their own home. And I don't want to say a couple can't use it because they can. And then I'm going to tell you another use for it, and then we're going to bring our guest on. Let's say you own a home and then you get married and that person's name is not on the deed to the home, but you want to leave that home to them. This is perfect for that also. And this is revocable. You can go back and change it as much as you want. It's not permanent. It's a revocable, and that's huge. You don't have to sit there and say, oh, this is forever and ever, because it's not. Now, I just happened to see somebody pop in. I'm too excited. So I'm going to read to you, ladies and gentlemen, the bio of our special guest today. Delores Armour, she's the founder of the Riverside Juneteenth Celebration Foundation, Incorporated. It started June of 1993, and she has been presented publicly for 22 years. The last 2 years have been virtual because of coronavirus. The Juneteenth Committee is made up of 10 volunteers, and Burma Manns has been holding the position of chair. Delores was born in Charleston, South Carolina on August 4th of 1946 to Charles and Gladys Amour, the only girl of 3 children. Her lineage is that of Gullah Geechee, stemming from the coastal islands of South Carolina. She suffered from a birth defect that left her paralyzed on her right side. She experienced years of therapy. After many years, she was able to walk on her own. As a result, she learned to enjoy reading at an early age. Delores credited her father for her strong sense of self and her love of history and her desire to want to teach. Her father presented her with every magazine, newspaper, and book he could find on Africa and African Americans, Negro history, sex and race, and Africa's gift to America. Delores started teaching classes in church and at centers at the age of 12. She once owned and had to purchase 100 amazing facts about the Negro. Nature Knows No Color Line by J.A. Rogers. She once owned the Life magazine coverage of Louis B. Leakey's discoveries in, Uvia. I probably said, you can correct me on that, Delores. Gorge in Tanzania in 1959. This documented evidence cemented Delores' love of African history. As a result, over a period of nearly 70 years, Delores accumulated an extensive collection of artifacts, books, magazines, and pictures. Delores attended Cheyney College, now the University of Pennsylvania. Cheyney is the oldest historically black colleges and universities, HBCUs, in the country. It was established in 1837, and of course, her major was history. Delores became initiated in Delta Sigma Theta in 1966. After graduating, she helped the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, or SNCC, SNCC, and the National Council of Negro Women at NCNW. Delores moved to Riverside, California for the warmer weather in September of 1988 with her son and daughter. With the help of Lisa Reed, Clarence, Joy, and Nah Williams, the Riverside Juneteenth Committee was formed. The organization highlights the myriad of accomplishments made by people of African descent. The annual program brings together the community and surrounding areas while showcasing talents, vendors, and contributions made by formerly enslaved people in the United States. This event has become a staple in the community. A mutual Ghanaian connection to Nisoa aided in her finding a place donated a portion of her extensive collection of African art, books, music, photographs, and memorabilia to Delores Polite of the Windward Museum in Brunswick, Georgia. Ladies, gentlemen, I would like to welcome to the Mary D. Welch Show, the one and only, I call her doctor. I'm going to be honest with you. She is so well-versed. I don't just say her name is Delores Armour. Dr. Delores Armour. Just a second, Delores. Well, you're coming on. Here we go. Me and my mouse are having a time over here. It's going, no. Okay, here we go.
She's already said that you have.
Oh, here I go.
She's on now. Hello, Delores.
Hello.
Hi, can you hear me? There, can you hear
Mary,
me now?
can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, goodness.
Can you hear me?
Technology.
I know. Can you, Dolores, can you hear me? Hello?
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. I missed the first introduction,
Oh,
and I'm
can you hear
getting
me
a
now?
feedback.
Oh, you can hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, good, good, good. Well, Dolores, we can hear you just fine.
Okay.
Okay.
There's no
After that,
feedback.
oh, good. Well, I read your bio, but I would like for you, Dolores, to introduce yourself to our wonderful audience. Oh, Dolores? Oh,
Hello.
thank you. Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Did
Yes.
you want
Well,
me to explain?
you can introduce yourself to our audience and then you can
Okay.
explain. That's fine.
My my name is Delores Armour, and I am a seeker of knowledge,
All right.
a historian,
Uh-huh.
and I love African and African American history.
All right. Now, one of our guests said maybe if you didn't use the headphones, it might be better. I don't know. All right. Now, one of our guests said Dolores.
Well, I've searched for everything to get on.
You're on. You're on now. We can hear you.
I'm really grateful for this opportunity, even though I had such difficult times trying to get on the line.
That's okay. Hi, Marilyn. Well, Dolores, why don't you tell us about your background?
Okay. I was born in South Carolina. My parents moved to, I was born in South Carolina and I moved to Philadelphia as a child with my parents. I grew up in the Philadelphia school system, and my mother insisted that I go to Temple University, so I spent a semester there and discovered that Cheney was not too very far from my home. And so I applied to Cheney and was immediately accepted. I went to Cheney and I majored in history
All
because
right.
that's my love, my passion. I
Mm-hmm.
spend hours almost every day researching.
All right.
I My favorite slogan is please read.
Okay.
Please read. The importance of reading is paramount in this day and time.
Yes, it is.
I went to Cheney University. I graduated and I pledged for Delta Sigma Theta, and I see some of my sorors are on the line. Thank you very much, sisters, for supporting me.
Oh, we're honored to have Delta Sigma Theta here at the show today. Welcome. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not a Greek, but our son is a Kappa, so he represents. So, welcome. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not a Greek, but our son.
Once I left school, I went to New York, and where I taught, and then my health failed after an accident, and I went to California for the climate. And while in California, I met a young lady named Rose Mays who told me about Juneteenth. And being a historian, I thought, um, I was surprised to find out that that was the official holiday for the emancipation of enslaved people. I immediately went to my ex-husband and friends and family and asked them for help. And we set up the first Juneteenth celebration in 1993. We had a minuscule, I consider a minuscule turnout for the event. And so we did it in people's homes for the next couple of years. And then in 2000, we decided to go public again. And we have been rolling ever since. So we officially started at Boardwalk Park Stratton Community Center in Riverside, California in the year 2000. It has been a wonderful success for not only the committee, the Riverside Juneteenth Committee, but
Mhm.
also for the community and the city of Riverside. We are very, very proud to be able to present historical information,
Right.
a mini museum, local talent, vendors, and health and community service information at the event. We average on a yearly basis somewhere between 1,500 and as many as 5,000 people have come out to the event over the years. We are
Right.
very dismayed that we have had to have a virtual Juneteenth celebration, but we are also very concerned for the health of all of our audience participants. We would be happy to be back in the park next year, the year 2023,
Right.
if health allows. We do not want to see anyone get sick, not even one person on our conscience, because we are very conscious of your health. We have health information that is constantly being given by practitioners, and we have community service information that is given by local hospitals and health institutions.
Okay,
So
Dolores.
we are trying to take advantage of the fact that we can do this virtually by presenting a virtual Juneteenth celebration again this year.
Dolores, and I call you Dr. Dolores. Dr. Dolores, what is the website I can put up so people that would like to go to the virtual Juneteenth that they can go there?
Okay. It's
Uh-huh.
www.juneteenthsocal.org. That's JUNTEENTHSOL.org.
Got it.
Or you can go to our email, which is info@juneteenthsocal.org.
Okay.
Our phone number is 888-752-1619.
Got it. Okay. Let me put that in the chat for anyone that would like to attend, because there are so many Juneteenth. But I will say your celebration, and as the founder, Dr. D, you have been instrumental. I mean that, and I say that from the bottom of my heart. I know I've served on the committee, but your commitment to Juneteenth for the Riverside area, to my knowledge, I'll be honest, I think you were the first one, other than I think in Riverside County that I know of. I'm not saying that you're the first one I've ever heard that organized it and was consistent about having it. So I do like to take this time to honor you for that your commitment to the community has been without fail. You've shown that year after year, whether you are funded or not, whether someone helps cover the cost or not, you have committed your own funds to this one event that brings the community together. So thank you for that. I want to thank you on behalf of the Riverside community and on behalf of the Inland Empire, because now, to my knowledge, there's about between 8 and 10 going on. Think about it. Originally, you were it, but now we have so many more. Um, Corona's having a Juneteenth. Moreno Valley's having a Juneteenth. I think San Bernardino has four. Riverside's having another one at White Park. I know we're having the original one is virtual, but there'll be another one on June 18th. So thank you for leading the way and being the visionary for Juneteenth for this community. I really mean that. You've done a wonderful job, and you put Riverside on the map before it was ever a holiday, before anybody even observed it. You did that. So let me give you a hand from me. So we want to thank you for that. Oh, and then we have some more comments coming in. Let me go back. I don't want to forget anybody because we have an Omega brother here. Richard, you just heard me say Kappas. You couldn't take it, huh? That's
Thank
okay.
you.
Richard said, there's an Omega in the house. Okay, now. And next we have Marilyn. She said, so is your grandson. I don't know if he's a Kappa or Omega. He must be a Kappa. I don't know. So there, I don't know. Okay, who's the sister organization or the brother organization to Deltas? Is it the Omegas or is it the Kappas?
I'm having trouble because I'm getting a feedback. So when you stop, please forgive me for not chiming in.
That's okay.
But
that's okay.
I am very, very happy that you recognized me and allowed me to show today, Mary. Mary has been my friend for nearly 30 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So quite naturally, I turned to her for this platform to view me and to allow me to bring information about Juneteenth.
But we got to give Marilyn Griffin, she said, your Lion sisters are here supporting you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
And then Richard says, what did you say? Omega brother, we know Richard. And then Richard asked, he said, ask her if you remember Raymond J. Hill, Dean of Students. Do you remember Raymond J. Hill, Dr. D?
We are so very, very proud of our efforts to bring historical information to the community. My favorite expression, again, is read. Please read. You don't have to take anyone's word for anything. You can look up and reference it in many different sources.
Yes.
Just read. Instead of watching the boob tube, as we used to call it, or instead of playing video games or watching so much sports, read a little, just a little. And you will find that once you start reading, you will open up your appetite for more.
Yes.
I have been reading all of my life, but as my bio said, I had no choice. I had to sit still most of the time. So I was always in a book. And that has led me to my love for history and my love for African American and African history. I don't know it all, and I probably will not know it all in my lifetime. But I do know that we are great people. That is why we have been able to survive the Holocaust that was visited upon us.
Right.
And we will continue to survive. And we will be the last man standing, or last woman standing. Okay? Because we are blessed. I know it doesn't seem like it sometimes, but we are blessed. We have so many talented, inventive people. I mean, it's unbelievable. And that's where the reading comes in. If you read, you will discover that there are a number of people who have contributed tremendously to the development, not only of this country, but to the world. Starting with ancient Egypt. Well, they tell you about ancient Egypt, but you can also find out about Abyssinia which is in the Bible, Abyssinia was a great kingdom before ancient Egypt. It is said that Egypt is the daughter of Abyssinia. So that tells you that Abyssinia is even older than Egypt or Kemet. And I would love for you to read just a little bit about the great accomplishments that were visited by the Egyptians or the people of Kemet. We have gone on to have great African kingdoms, and we came to America in chains, and still we were able to survive. Many of the early inventions in this country, including questionably the cotton gin, were made by African Americans. We know that Benjamin Banneker was a famous inventor. He made the first clock in America. That is not to say he made the first clock. He made the first clock in America. He actually took a pocket watch apart, studied it, and put it back together and made a clock. So that means that he was very, very inventive. He was a genius. He also wrote an almanac that we still use today. Now, people don't pick up almanacs too much anymore because the weatherman tells us what to expect. But he was the forerunner of the weatherman. Okay?
Right.
Then we have so many others. I mean, I can't even begin to mention all of the wonderful inventors that we had. And I'm not talking about just George Washington Carver. He's just the very, very pinpoint tip of the iceberg.
Right.
We have so many. Jan Metzlager, who invented the shoe lasting machine. You know, those shoes that you walk around on to keep your feet out of the dirt, came from Jan Metzlager. We have Granville T. Woods, who actually took Edison to court and sued him for stealing his inventions. We have Elijah McCoy, who invented the automatic lubricating machine. And I don't know for the young people if they know about this, but we oldsters know about the real McCoy. That was to say that was the machine invented and manufactured by Elijah McCoy. We have so many others. Dr. Susan, I know that's ancient history, but Dr. Susan Bath is a more contemporary person. She invented a laser surgery that helped people to keep from going blind. And there are so many. Dr. West, Gladys West, she invented the GPS machine that we use in our cars and that is used to navigate through our streets today. Please, I implore you, not only you read, but make your children read. Make them sit down and read about their history, because I do believe that if they know how wonderful, how inventive, how clever, intelligent, how special we are, they would feel proud of themselves and of the entire African American community and of their African heritage.
I agree, Delores. Thank you. And I'm saying that because I do think that that is something we're losing in our community. And I don't know why, but we are. We're not, it's not, I don't know, shared to the level, because I know this is a passion for you. I know it is. We have a couple of comments. Marilyn, thank you. She said hello to her Divine Nine sister. So we appreciate that. Victoria Rivers, she said Cheney University. So, you know, Victoria, and I think Marilyn, I think they were online with you. And Richard Darrell Nichols says, with the national holiday of Juneteenth, it has brought more cities participating.
Yes.
This is good, but it can be bad because we have to choose where to go. That's what it just. I was just in a meeting earlier, Richard, and they said, why is it we can't just have one big location and things like that? I don't have the answer, but that's definitely something people are considering. Jeanette says, "Hi, Mary D. I love that you love what you and all the blessings to help others and to help and say hello to your guests." Thank you, Jeanette. Hi, how are you? And she said, Amen. She's saying, I think to with your comments. And Elaine says, yes, yes, yes. Reading is so crucial to our people. Loving listening to Delores. BTW. I am a 56-year charter member of LSU New Orleans. Go ahead. All
Yeah.
right. And all these comments, and let me, as you can tell, if I missed you, it's not intentional. I'm trying to go down each one. I think I may have missed one. I'm actually going back. We didn't pick Oliver's up, which says, Oliver, hi Dolores, welcome to the show. Looking forward to your information and knowledge on the subject at hand. And Oliver is the executive producer for the show. And he just so happens to be my husband too. So. And then Richard said, Dr. Trudy Coleman facilitated the Juneteenth Pomona on June 18th.
Yes.
And that's been going on for, I think, over 35
years. Yes.
So that's a big one. That is a big one. And she does the Martin Luther King breakfast, if I'm correct. Is that right, Richard? She does both. Before, I know we only have a few minutes left, believe it or not, Dolores. What would you like to add before you go? Because I know it's so much, but
it's just so much. I stumble over, but I forgot to mention the fact that, well, two things. One, okay. Juneteenth started on June 19th, 1865, when Colonel Gordon Granger and a contingency of Buffalo soldiers marched into Galveston, Texas. They don't tell you that.
Right.
They don't tell you that it was Buffalo soldiers who actually went into Galveston to help liberate the people.
Right.
But they were able to go in peacefully and successfully. We are now finding out that the 13th Amendment was the real emancipator of most Black people. And I say most because the prison industrial system has a new level of enslavement. And
right.
If you would be so kind as to look up the prison industrial system, you will find out what I mean by the re-enslavement of Black people. They are estimating that a full 39% of all Black men are in prison. That's more than 1/3 of our population.
Wow.
And of course, when you have men in prison, there are no babies to be had. So that's a way of controlling the African American population. We also found out that it was a full 100 years after the issuance of the Emancipation Proclamation that the last people were freed. They actually had communities in Ohio and Louisiana and Alabama where people did not know that they were free, were not allowed to leave the land, had been so conditioned for so many years that they were unable to gain their freedom until a group of people started investigating why they were not permitted to go on certain farms, plantations.
Wow.
And they were able to finally get free. And some of the people were up in age and had worked all of their lives as slaves in the United States. There is just so much information to know. People, please don't take my word for it. Look it up. Look up Roosevelt, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, and the real reason why he integrated the military during World War II, so that Black people will feel a sense of patriotism, and that the Japanese could not use the fact that they were still enslaving people in the United States. They knew about it, and we didn't.
Well, I can tell you, it's so much information. It is so much, but I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. D, she is a wealth of knowledge. She is a wealth of knowledge. And if you have a program and you like for her to be a speaker, or come on and talk about Juneteenth, the number is right there. I'll put it back up. First, I wanted to say for Betty Boston, she says, Delores, continued success in delivering Juneteenth programs. Hi, Betty. And I like to also offer those of you that if you're not on the email list, you can get on the email list for Juneteenth. And I put it up. I'll put it up again for you. And that is for the Juneteenth program right there. The Juneteenth SoCal, is that right? .org. That's the website you can go to. Also, if you're interested in joining the email list for the Mary D Show, you go to maryd.com. That's it. And you can join the email list. And then you'll get emails about who is the guest speaker, the topic. I send out quite a few emails, though. I email 4 to 5 times a week. I may give you a break every now and then, but it's usually 4 or 5 times a week. I email historical. I email things about voting, what's going on in the community, both at local, at the state level, at the national level. I really try to email things I care about. That's what you're really getting, the things I care about. So I just want you to know that. But I want to take this time right now to thank Dr. D. She came on and she hung in there, ladies and gentlemen, because we were having technical difficulties. And I said, I tell you what, I'll talk for a little while until you can come on. But I want to take this time, Dr. D. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are a wealth of knowledge. You are a blessing to this community. You're a blessing to California and Georgia. But wherever you go, you're a blessing. Just know that. Oh, and Sheila said, awesome information, Dr. D. Awesome information. And Jeanette said, let me put Jeanette's up. She said, and thanks so much for keeping up with the African history. We are awesome people, and God bless. I'm blessing you and every one of you, my queens. Thank you, Jeanette. That's nice of you. Thank you. We appreciate that. We definitely do, because she could have gave up. I'm gonna tell you. You know how you can get frustrated when the technology. And I just told her, just keep playing with it. It'll.
Well,
But you popped in. You're
Yeah.
welcome. You're welcome. And we will definitely bring you back again. I can tell you for sure, because we're gonna have to do a part 2 on this, because it's so much history. We can't just do it in one show. So we will bring you back for another show. All right, would you like to come back again, Dr. D?
Yes, yes.
Oh, good.
Thank you for the invite.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you again for coming. And ladies and gentlemen, that's our show for today. So I'm going to just let you know that we will be back again on Monday, a week from today. And we will have a new guest, and you're welcome to come. I want to thank all of you that you share either the text messages or the emails or whatever is going on. Some of you posted on your social media. I cannot begin to tell you, because this show really is, ladies and gentlemen, it's about you. This is about you. Oh, thank you. I see some more comments coming. They said, have a good day. Thank you. We just want to thank, and I try the best we can to always recognize your comments, because it means a lot. It means a lot. You mean more than you could ever imagine. That's why we want to make sure you stay in touch. You get the emails, you get the text messages, you know what's going on. We want you, those of you that will, share the information about the book, because it's about Save Your Home from Probate. I'll show that again at the end, because this is going to save families. There are families. I'm not saying what people that get this book their family will be saved. They won't have to go to court. If you've ever had to go to court for anything, you know that's not where you want to be. That's why this book exists, to keep people out of that legal system. That's the reason for that. I want to thank each and every one of you. I will see you in a week, and God bless you. Bye, everybody. I love you. Bye-bye.